It is very good. I like this system very much. It is a... Personally, out of all of the systems that use the invisible enemies random encounter method, you know, you're walking around, you don't see your enemies on the screen, this game, I think, does it the best. And the reason being, they only force you to fight enemies if they are more powerful than you. Or, you know, they get an ambush on you. That happens too, which is fine. Meaning that you don't have to fight every single random battle in an area, especially if you're backtracking or walking through a part of the world map, for example, that you've been through before, that, you know, the enemies are like way lower level than you. And for winning that battle, I got to level 2. You may notice now that my FP says 2 out of 100 instead of 1 out of 100. Your starting FP in a battle is equal to your level. So the higher level you are, the more powerful skills you can lead off in battle. Oh, by the way, the reason I went around is you may notice that this block right here in the middle is slightly different. It looks slightly out of place. Well, that's because it'll fall. Well, shit. That guy right there just tells you to watch out for falling blocks. Anyway, these are over here are gems. They restore HP as you walk over them. The small gems that I just picked up restore 1% of your maximum HP. So for me, that'd be 1 HP per gem. Up to a minimum of 1 HP, obviously. They can't restore half an HP point. You noticed that I canceled out of that, didn't you? Yeah. See how useful that is? It allows you to go through an area that you're more powerful than without having to fight them, but at the same time, it doesn't allow you to fall behind in power. Because if you go into an area with more powerful enemies than you, then it's going to force you to fight the battles. Thus, maintaining your level of power, making sure you're always at least equal with the area you're in. And I think that's really neat. I wish more games would do that. Something like that. Uh-oh, I fell. No big deal. There's no consequences for falling other than the fact that, you know, you have to start at the last door you went in. You can tell which ones are going to fall by looking at them. You notice how the one I'm standing on is got a black kind of around it. But the one that just fell, here's another one. You notice how it's light all the way down? Well, that means it's going to fall. Let's see. You notice this one down here at the end is also going to fall. So, I'm going to hit that switch with my knife. This game is really fond of, oh no, how am I going to get over there now scenarios. And then you just got to remember that, oh wait, I have a tool that can reach that. That's really not that hard. I'll never get this right here. There's a doctor here who will restore your HP, but in the next few rooms are full of gems. It's like, well, thank you, but I don't need them. That's a save point. I'm not going to use it. Damn it. Oh, by the way, pretty much all the fights in here, unless you get ambushed, they're going to be white exclamation points at level 2, and you don't need to be any higher than level 2 to complete this area. In fact, it's really not feasible to get up to level 3. It takes 15 experience points to get to level 2. It takes 54 experience points to get up to level 3. And that's really a lot. So I wouldn't worry about it. Now, if you try to go this way, this block right here will fall, meaning you can't reach this switch. But that switch is at a downward angle. How are we going to hit it? Like that. And that, folks, is pretty much the full function of the hurl knife. That's pretty much all we'll be doing with it for the entire game. I don't mean that's the only puzzles we'll get out of it. I mean that's the extent of the puzzles with it. It's not a very complicated tool. And here we get a strength apple. Just like in the first game, apples are stat boosting items. I actually recommend you save that for one of the other characters you get in your party. Try to be at full HP when you walk into this room. Well, and we're gonna get ourselves some kidnappers, huh? I swear to God, these guys are the Three Stooges. No parents, huh? So you're an orphan. Huh. I think that's cool that they actually show Ashley using that outside of battle. Although I don't think they ever show him using it outside of battle anywhere outside of the introduction here. Meet Tony. Excuse me. Meet Tony. The first of many, many, many secondary characters that we're going to get to name. Tony's name is actually Tony Stark, which is kind of funny. Especially when you look at his color scheme, which is, you know, red and gold. Like I said, these guys are the Three Stooges. Oh, crap. I think Ashley's bayonet looks really cool. And of course, here we have a monster sealed behind another wall. How many times did that happen to us in the first game? Jeez. It's not really a good, effective way to seal away monsters. They always get let out. But new to Wild Arms, we have the boss introductory screen here, which is really cool. I like it a lot. You get a nice little black outline of the boss, and then they give you a little thing describing the boss, you know, sealed monster weapon, Kalivos. I think that's really cool. It's really, really neat. Mechanically and graphically, this game is just so much better than the first one. But I won't lie, I do like the first one a lot more. Particularly because of the story. But we'll talk about that more in a little bit. When the three kidnappers are not being cornered. I do think it was really cool of Ashley to go back and save the kidnappers. You know, I mean, he could have basically just left them to die. I mean, they were kidnappers after all. But no, he went back and saved them. Speaks loads about his character, you know. Holy crap, you're telling me that that monster's excretions? I was about to say excrement, although his excrement might be explosive too. That mean it... I'm sorry, just the thought of explosive poo went through my head, and that's all I can think about now. Give me a second to recover. That's literally all I can think of, is explosive poo. Dude! Which is what Tony calls Ashley throughout the entire rest of the game. He calls him the dude. Well, sometimes you can't just follow orders like that. You may have noticed a couple of lines that really don't make a whole lot of sense come out of Ashley's mouth at this point. That's really because the game... This game, I think, has more of a real literal translation. What they did was they took the script from the first game... Well, not from the first game, from the original Japanese script. They took it and they kind of translated it over word for word. So that leads to some weird context issues, I think. But anyway, this is our first battle, boss battle of the game, and Kalivos is a lot smaller than I thought he would be. Now, you may have, if you read the little tutorial text box there, it talks about some bosses having multiple targets. If you want to just straight up defeat the boss, don't worry about the secondary target, always go for the one that has the boss's name in it. But here we have two additional targets, the right claw and the left claw. I want the extra experience, money, and items that they drop, so I'm going to actually kill his claws. However, you might want to be aware of the fact that usually body parts have different attacks associated with them. For example, Blade Claw L is associated with the left claw. Well, if I take out the left claw, he can't use Blade Claw L anymore, which means that he's going to use his main body attacks almost all the time. And I'm getting real lucky here, but his main body attack, I think it's called... I don't remember. Anyway, just know that his main body attack is much more powerful than his claw attacks. If you take out his claws, well then he'll use nothing but his main body attack. And a lot of the bosses are that way. Now, if your HP gets below 45, I suggest you use a heal berry. I'm getting incredibly lucky on what attacks he's using. Most of the time I fight this guy and he just spams his best move. And I didn't mean to attack his top half. Oh well. Man, are you serious? His main body has about 400 HP. So, yeah. Seriously, he never does this. He always uses his main attack on me, like, constantly. His main attack does about 30 points of damage. 25 to 30, I would say. We're going to get to see it here soon enough. Yeah, I think I did need to use that. Laser breath, there it is. Yeah, see, it does about 25 to 30 points of damage. This should finish off the claw. If it doesn't, then the next one will. So you can see where, you know, defeating his claws actually, not only does it drag out the battle because you have to, you know, defeat extra parts, but it also forces him to constantly use nothing but his most powerful attack. Although, once you get his claws done, you can pretty much just peg him away with your arm, and if you're not unlucky, which I've gotten unlucky. The bad thing about Ashley's arms is they tend to miss a lot. They're also not as powerful as your other arms user that we'll get in the party. Ashley's weapons tend to be very small caliber, I guess, and they tend to miss a lot. And unlike Rudy in the first game, he doesn't have lock-on to really help with this. I mean, I fought this boss battle and then missed all 7 shots and had to defeat the boss with my regular attacks. I ended up barely winning because of the fact that I ran out of hillberries. But you really only need 4 out of the 7 shots to connect to kill him. So, because like I said, he has about 400 HP. And this is how this battle is going to go until we kill him. And I'm lucky. I'm just getting so lucky this one. Oh my god, I can't believe it. That went off flawlessly. That went off. Guys, that went off flawlessly. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe how smooth that went off. Like every other time I've done this, literally it went the worst possible way for me. Usually it's the other way around, you know. It'll go the best possible way when I'm not recording, and then when I record it goes the worst possible way. Oh well, I suppose the shoe had to drop at some point. And everybody lived. We also never see the kidnappers ever again, I don't think. And that is how this extremely long day ended for me, the new recruit. This right here is a, I guess kind of a recurring thing for Ashley. He talks about a lot in the game about how people want the same things, but everyone does different things to get the same end. And in fact, you know, they will actively try to impede you in your, I guess, pursuit of the same thing as them because they don't agree with you, and that's one of his conundrums for the game. So anyway, that concludes the first prologue. We're going to save over this file right here, and next time we're going to do a former war hero, now criminal. So I'll see you then.